I'd like to call the Fraser Recreation Commission meeting to order. It is February 4th, 2025 at 7 PM. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 2, or that was that. Item number 3, roll call. Commissioner Hunter.
Here.
Commissioner Rice.
Here.
Commissioner Walker.
Here.
Commissioner Cook.
Here.
Commissioner Rostelli.
So can I make a motion to excuse Commissioner Rostelli from the meeting tonight?
I second.
All right, a motion's been made by Chris Cook to excuse Commissioner Rostelli, seconded by Commissioner Rice. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Oh, and Commissioner Hunt here. Okay. Now, item number 4, approval of the agenda for February 4th, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda for February 4th, 2025.
I'll second.
The approval of the agenda, motion was made by Jake Rice to approve, seconded by Chris Cook. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 5, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting from January 7th, 2025.
I'll approve the minutes.
We need a second.
I will second those minutes.
Okay, the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of January 7th, 2025. Motion was made by Commissioner Walker to accept, seconded by Commissioner Hunter. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6, the volunteer group reports. 6A is the Fraser First Booster Club.
This is a little intrusive. Vanya Apps with the Fraser First Booster Club. Just here to update you on the Blue Jean Balls is February 8th. The doors are opening an hour early at 5 o'clock, and dinner's at 6. But that is February 8th. I'm pretty sure the tickets are winding down as far as ticket sales, but if you are interested, you know, please get a hold of me. You can reach me. I think my number's on every restroom, but it's 586-453-4081. And, or you can email me at vanya@fraserfirst.com. But I just want to say how very, very grateful we are. The sponsors, we've had great sponsor participation. So our platinum sponsors are Hanover Grove, the Dairy Maid, and our new one, the Pollinator Project, are our platinum sponsors this year. And then gold and silver, it's just been remarkable. The bronze sponsors, it's really been remarkable. I'm so grateful for that participation. That really helps us bring more money to the project of reimagining Steffens Park. And so I'm very grateful to them. I'm going to do my best to get their names on the city scroll so everybody can see it. And if Chris is okay with that, I'll bring a banner here after we're done with them to stay in City Hall. And then our next meeting is February 19th at 6:30 for the Fraser First Booster Club regular meeting, 6 o'clock for our executive meeting. And we are at Hanover Grove's Community Center, which they're very kind to give us that room for the night. We have a upcoming, after the Blue Jean Ball, is our Ram's Horn fundraiser, and that's April 3rd, and I'll bring more information closer to that date. So if anybody has any questions for me, otherwise
Looking forward to the night.
I am too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and We got some really wonderful raffle items and silent auction items, really some great stuff. New people to the event, so it's really cool to see these new products that they're bringing. So, all right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. 6B, the Fraser Beautification Club.
Yes, I'll talk about that tonight. Our next meeting is going to be March 26th at 6:30 at Ramshorn. So come out and join us because we're going to start getting the ball rolling. Spring's around the corner, so we have plants to cut down and things to get ready for all the new plants to start popping up. Is that it?
Yeah, I just said about that. We decorated.
And we didn't decorate the wedge, we decorated the front of CVS. We put some Valentine hearts up there, on the two corners of the sign. Something will go up for St. Patrick's Day, and then we'll put something up for Easter. Just kind of add a little color, a little pop up there while things are looking kind of so-so, yes. Oh, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you. Item number 7.
So, Family Fun Night. I've spoke about it before, but I wanted to let you guys know that it was a sellout. I believe I let you guys know at the last meeting, but it was a sellout after 50 minutes, 100 people. I was able to contact Vintage House, and we were able to add another 100 people for that event, which I contacted people on the wait list and then moved over everyone from their family onto our main list. So right now, we're looking at about 170 people for that event. That is on February 15th, Saturday, from 5 to 8 p.m. Again, same thing as always. It's going to be the buffet, games. A DJ will be there for dancing, and should be a good time. That it's a free event for people who attend to it. And right now, just little details of, we're doing white linens with red napkins to kind of make it a little bit of into a February theme, or into a Valentine theme, even though it's not a Valentine theme event. But I thought it'd be perfect timing with the day after Valentine's. Wanted to comment on the Senior Activity Center. As you guys know, that we had a turnover after about a decade. We had someone just start, and her name is Allie, and she has been great so far. Kind of blown the whole thing out of the water with what we're doing there and the future of the Senior Activity Center. So she's already started to do a newsletter. We're going to put out a 4-page newsletter for the Senior Activity Center, kind of talking about the different activities, the different events that we have there, talk about Meals on Wheels, the SMART program, so it'll have a lot of information and helpful tips and for the seniors. That will be just for the first month at least. It'll just be something that we have at the location of the Senior Activity Center. It'll also be at our senior housing and something that maybe we can post on Facebook or our website. If that grows into something that we can either mail out or put inside of a newsletter that the city is thinking about doing, we can put it inside the recreation section of it. Along with the newsletter, we've already did a Rovers, which is what we do is we pick a place for all the seniors to go. And it's, a $5 fee for them. We sold out of that. They went to Famous Dave's. And we also added a MGM casino trip in February. I believe that one only has a couple spots left for that event. That one's a $10 fee event. And we've also did a Valentine's Day luncheon. So on February 14th at the Senior Activity Center, we have a luncheon. We originally made the cap 30. We sold out of that pretty quick. We made it 40, and now I think we're making it 50 for the cap for that. So again, we've already kind of changed the culture, the atmosphere, and kind of changed everything to make it a little bit more inviting, a little bit more positive, and kind of the future of the Senior Activity Center. Add more classes and add different activities for the Senior Activity Center. With that, we're still looking to change or to add more things. We're looking at Tai Chi instructors. I know we had Tai Chi at some point. And we are looking to add more things that the seniors can do at our Senior Activity Center and kind of open up longer, but we wanted to change the foundation of the Senior Activity Center for the event, or for the place. Just going to try to really quick cover a couple of things. The coloring wall, it's a 26-foot trailer that would cost the city $650, and we can start booking that in March. I think it's around March 17th, and it would start June is when she's starting to take the bookings. It's a 26-foot trailer that you can color on that I think it can fit 20 to 25 people inside the trailer and 20 to 25 people on the outside of the trailer. It's something they can use crayons and I believe markers, or crayons and coloring pencils. But it is temporary. After the event is over, they'll basically start fresh. So people can take selfies with it, and there'll be little coloring sheets that people can color that want to attend to it. So it's going to be just a fun little event that one of our council members was able to find and forward it to me. So something new, something different, and it'll be a nice little touch. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the recreation software for the city of Fraser. Right now, we don't really have any software for anything that we do for recreation. Right now, for like the family fun night, we use Civic Plus, which is our website registration. It's very basic. It's a registration module where people can sign up online. You put your name, your phone number, and your email address, and that is it. That's all that it does. It's a very simple software. We need something a little bit more robust, something that can take people's locations to where they live, phone numbers, ages, everything from their family, so that we can actually have a real software that we can get data from. We can mass email everybody. We can start where we've talked about is city residents can either pay a discount, or non-residents can pay full price, or we pay full price and they pay an additional fee onto that. Right now, we have no way to monitor where these people live. We can do an honor system, which I've talked about before, but it's just that. It's an honor system. I can't tell you where people live, and they can tell me that they live in the city of Fraser, and I have to just say, okay. So what this software does is kind of tells us where people are registering. If they're outside of Fraser, it gives them a certain cost. If they're inside of Fraser, it gives them a certain cost. And potential that they can sign up early if they live in the city of Fraser. It's something that we need. I'm looking into it. I've already had meetings with 2 different companies. One is DaySmart. They cost roughly $3,600 a year. And the other company that I met with was Civic Plus Recreation Program. So it's our website, but it's their recreation software. That one, the initial first year is $7,500, and that costs is for training and kind of everything that goes into your first year of implementing a new system. And then it goes down to $3,500 for the second, third, fourth year, but with a 5% increase every year. Most cities use Civic Plus Rec. That's what most cities are switching to, because DaySmart was bought. That was the company that bought out a program called RecPro. RecPro is what most cities used. They switched over to DaySmart, but other people are looking to switch to Civic Plus Rec. Again, a little bit more polished, a little bit bigger program that does a lot of different things. So we're talking, you can send out mass emails, like I was saying. You can see how many people have paid, how much they've paid, how much each class is bringing in, instructors. If we want to start renting out the baseball fields, if we can get those up to par, it kind of brings a whole different ball game. And also at the Senior Activity Center, it brings where we can scan people when they come in, rather than writing down on a sheet of paper who they are, and that's all we get from it. It'll bring up their, their name, where they're attending, what classes they're a part of, and it also could help with our smart bus program. It can start a scheduling to help us schedule bus rides. So again, it's a software that kind of brings what we are looking for to start in the city of Fraser for the recreation department, is kind of build on that foundation like I've been talking about of what we'd like to see, where we'd like to go. We can't continue to grow and have these great sellout programs like Family Fun Night or the Marshmallow Drop and not have something where we get more out of it besides their name, and then manually moving over from a wait list to the real list. It takes way too long. It doesn't give us anything. We can't stop anything. We can't stop people from a different city signing up if we wanted to. It doesn't stop, someone with one person signing up multiple families. It's just a simple program that we have right now. We need something a little bit more in depth. So that's what I've been working on, meetings and Zoom calls. And I think that's going to be the future of the recreation department, is having that software so that we can do a lot of that. Kind of zooming through these real fast, but do you guys have some
Okay,
questions
so I
about
have a
it?
couple of questions. I'm going to start from the bottom up. So the recreation software, I think that's a great idea. But you said for the training, who gets trained and how many people will they train? And what happens if they train somebody and then they leave the city? Will they retrain new people
So
for that first year, with all the extra support?
So technically, we're at the very beginning of it, and I have another another meeting with the Civic Plus Pro or Rec on Friday. But I would have them so that they train Allie and I, because I have Allie in charge of the Senior Activity Center and me being in charge of the department. And if we wanted to grow as far as the department and hire more people, it would be probably on us to train those people. That's how normally it is at different cities.
okay.
Is we train them once we're trained. We're kind of the masters of the program. They didn't tell me how many people they're willing to train, but it's just Allie and I right now as far as she runs the Senior Activity Center, I run the department, and then we have bus drivers in the recreation department. So the bus drivers wouldn't, as far as I know right now, wouldn't need the program. We would do printouts for them.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that before I ask my next question?
No, I like the idea.
Yeah, I think we definitely need it.
Yes.
So that we can start charging people that don't live in our city a little bit more, at least something.
Right.
Instead of giving everybody free, no matter where you
So
live.
so that was going to be my next.
Right, and what we use right now through Civic Plus, as far as I know, there's no way you can pay through that system. So in order to try to get the people who cannot make it in between City Hall from 8 to 4:30 and try to get 100, 200 people coming into City Hall at one time, it would obviously be great to have something where someone can open up an app if they have an app for it, or go online and sign up for it on their own time. Which, by the way, goes into another thing, that we could put pavilions on there as well, so people can go online
Do
and
their rental of pavilions?
see what's already been rented and rent them out as well. But yes, to speak on that is, absolutely, we could charge the city of Fraser $0 for an event or $20, and non-residents could be $50, $30, doesn't matter what it is. But we don't have that capability right now for what we do, unless we were to do from 8 to 4:30, where they have to come in and pay for it. And this software kind of does it all automatically.
Okay. Oh, so that goes to a next question then. Is that why, because I thought in the beginning, the Family Fun Night was going to be subsidized, and now the next day came out, it was free. Is that because there's no way to collect the money on these things?
Correct. I have no
Okay.
way not only to collect the money, besides to do it where they come in between 8 and 4:30 at City Hall, and I have no way to prove when where people
Where they
live.
Okay,
And I can't prove that, you live in the city of Fraser and you don't, but you're telling me you both live there. I have to go off with what the website tells me, which is a very simplistic message.
so it's capped at so I'm at that family fun night now.
Okay.
So it's capped at 170, right?
Yeah, right now I have 170, but in the next couple of days, as long as about Thursday is when I'm going to call them to give them a final number.
Oh, okay, because what's your budget on that? Because isn't it like, what did you say it was like $18 a per?
$18 a person.
All right, so that's just under, well, $3,000 you're at right now. I just wondered what's your budget? Because you would think like, oh, we're done now because we've hit our budget for the event.
Well, the thing is with the budget is we have $30,000 in our programming. So as of right now, we're not even close to that. So it's not that I'm trying to spend money, but I'm saying that we have an event that we can kind of showcase with this, just like the rest of the whole idea, the thought behind mine is, let's showcase, we're kind of back, we're kind of starting with all these different events. We have this thing, look at what the city of Fraser is doing. We try to collect the excitement from the different surrounding communities. And obviously, there's probably going to be times where Roseville and East Point, we want to give them the same rate as Fraser residents because they do that for us already. We've been working hand in hand with them,
I
so.
was just concerned about like, but now if you're going to have a software program that can kind of help fund that.
Right, and I don't know what's the last number of the budget, but I know that we still had roughly like $15,000 or so left in the budget, and we have till June 30th.
Okay.
So we're not even, I mean, we still have quite a bit.
And I'd also be concerned because you haven't paid anything that, oh, it had a really bad snowstorm, so now I'm not going. So now you've paid for people, so I don't think,
Yep, so.
I think
that-
Anthony's listening, but so hopefully you like,
Undercut it a little?
thanks.
So that's an issue, obviously, is if,
Yeah.
just like all the events that we have, is just because they say that they're coming doesn't mean that they're coming. So obviously, if we have food for 170 people and 150 show up, we'll have leftover food.
Right.
But again, it's not the greatest system that we have. It's not obviously polished, as you guys are hearing, as you guys know, but we are starting somewhere and trying to build onto
Right,
that. So
right.
the software really does, I hate to say it like this, but it really does solve a lot of our issues. And that's something that I've been working on since the beginning of the year.
I don't have any problem with the software. Just know that 10% of your people won't show up.
Right, and I am prepared for it.
Yeah, okay. So that gets me to my next point, the Senior Activity Center. So you're charging the seniors $5 to get on a bus, no, to go to a little luncheon, and like $10 for another. So it just seems like that would be the crowd that
Should be free.
should be free. So maybe if you have a little extra money in your budget, maybe you throw them a little free party instead of like,
Well, we definitely try for all the senior events to keep the prices
it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable.
And I know what you're saying, but yes, obviously, $5, we'd like to make it, but there's also less of a budget for the senior activity center than there is for the
Oh,
recreation
so they have it, I didn't
department.
realize they had a different budget than the recreation department. Okay,
Yeah, the senior activity center has its own budget.
okay, so I pulled that back.
So,
You do that, but I'm going to pull that back.
but no, it is a good point. And obviously, that's what the software kind of fills in those gaps of. We're trying to do what we can to make senior activity centers cheap, obviously, and then to also make our events cheap, but at the same time, make it so that we're not doing free events anymore. And that's what the software can do.
Okay.
Eliminate non-residents paying the same as residents if that's what we want to do, or maybe we just make it the same price, but we allow Fraser residents to sign up for the first week. But that's what the
Yeah.
software does for us, so.
I have a question on that. That 7,500 is going to come out of our budget of 15,000 that we have roughly left? So that's like half of what we have left and we
I'm not
still
sure if it
have-
would come out of the programming budget yet. It's something we're at the very beginning of. I would have to talk to, obviously, the city and see if that would come out of a programming line, or if that's something that we can make a new budget line under the recreation center. So I don't know if that's something that we can discuss, trying to make it so that we have the yearly budget of 7,500 for the first year, and then, you know.
Yeah,
we
because
can
that would
cut
take
back.
up like half our budget right there, and then you still have, March, April, May, June,
Right.
so that would.
Unless you've already factored in the bunny drop, the marshmallow drop. Maybe that money's already been like,
A lot of the events won't cost us that significant as far as getting us to that $30,000 mark. I made sure that we had enough money so that we would comfortably be okay unless something came up. So, yep, if the city decides that that comes out of the programming line, obviously that's 7,500 that'll come off. And that is, if I can't get that price down for the initial setup, obviously most cities probably have a lot of people that they're training and, a bigger amount of things. So with us, it's just Ally and I. So I don't know if they're willing to come down on that price. That's just the price that they gave us at the very beginning. So it could be cheaper than that.
okay.
At least
All right.
that's a hope.
All right, so the last thing, back to the family fun night. Did you need any help? I did not buy a ticket, or I did not put my name in. I wasn't planning on going, but I will come and work it with you, or
So
stand in a corner and direct people.
most of it will be taking care of itself, obviously, with the buffet, and they put the food out.
Okay.
The only thing that might get a little hectic would be the registration of getting people inside and checking off the family, the families for it. So that would be a help. I obviously, I don't need the whole recreation department. Or,
Would that be like something like the Easter drop, like that kind of?
yeah, if we,
like that?
and obviously a little bit less, I think it'd be a little bit less chaotic, but if we already had, 3 or 4 people with a roster and sorted by last name, as long as they give us their last name, I think they just go right in. And it's sit wherever you want. It's not assigned seating. It's 8 people
So
at
if
a
you- So
table.
it starts at what time, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, so,
So I might get there at around 4. I have to talk to them about what time I'm allowed to get there and start kind of putting a couple pieces together. But
do you need help putting a couple pieces together?
as of right now, I plan on having enough people so that I
Okay.
don't need it.
All right,
But if in the next couple of days something happens, obviously you guys are going to be the first people I ask.
okay, all right. I don't want to leave you hanging.
No, I appreciate it. And I was going to ask that tonight was, registration might need some help and then you wouldn't even have to stay for the event. But if you guys want to stay for the event and kind of see how it plays out, great. I think, people are going to have a great time, have a lot of food, dance hopefully, and we do have a DJ for that night. So it should be a fun event.
Okay,
So I have a question on that note too. I joined the wait list, but I never received anything.
I went through the entirety of the wait list and emailed everybody. I didn't see your name on there.
Because I signed up for it.
I can double check, but I went through everyone on the wait list and basically copied and pasted everybody using the email that they provided. So I don't know what happened, but we can definitely put you on there.
Well, I don't, okay.
But again, that just shows you what I'm talking about of it's not the best system right now. We're working with what we have. We're kind of limping by, but that's what we're doing.
yeah. I also don't have the best system because I just put that in my calendar, but I'm already babysitting starting at 4.
I was gonna say, I think I did see your email in there as one of the participants.
Her participating?
No, I
Me
thought,
helping
I
you.
thought I saw your email as far as one of the
help
participants
you?
for the event.
Yeah. I better put it in there and, okay, I'll be there.
Is anyone from, that you signed up for the
No.
event?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
was just gonna
thought I
come
saw
help
your
you.
email. But
Maybe he's thinking about your email. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I went through 100 emails. I'm
yeah.
not really
all
sure.
right. Okay. Well, that's all I have to ask you about. So, anybody,
I have nothing.
anything else? No? Okay, so we are on item number 8, citizen participation. And it's a packed house today. Who would like to come up? All right,
Hello, everyone.
hello.
Joseph Zoots, 17925 Rainbow. Actually, I'm here because of what Chris Rusey just brought up here. I just want to echo that, I like what he's bringing forth with the recreation software. I think it'll really help. As a resident, I just had a couple of blurbs here that I just, having attended events and been here, just some frustrations with, what he's, just echo his frustrations and agree with him that maybe we can change some things. I've attended quite a few events. I've observed instances where registration was high, but attendance was low, due in part to the event being free. Again, one solution is to charge a fee when registering for an event. Fraser residents would be charged a discounted fee compared to non-residents. With a fee-based registration, the Recreation Department could incentivize attendance, deter people from canceling at the last minute and taking up a spot that someone could have filled. This type of registration system where non-residents pay a higher fee can be observed in other communities. So it won't be something, Fraser's doing. Everyone does it. And then since, these events are being funded through the city by its residents, the taxpayers, I believe programming should primarily benefit the residents to improve their quality of life, enhance the ability to live in the Fraser community. I would like to make a request that events where registration is limited, priority be given to Fraser residents. If Fraser residents are unable to attend events due to the registration being oversaturated with non-resident, or if Fraser residents are unable to attend events due to the registration being oversaturated with non-residents, how can we justify the funding? So again, it's prioritize Fraser residents, but also open up the community once it's, Fraser's not going to attend. So,
Exact same thoughts. I was going to say that all until he brought up that they're going to the new system. So
And I just wanted to echo, I, as a resident here, I think that's a great idea, to help us out and make it better for everyone and eliminate some of the frustrations that the department's having. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I believe that the city of Fraser residents should have first come, first serve for a couple of days at least before it goes out to anybody else. So, yes.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Laura Lessig, 15201 Fairview. I agree as well, and just a question on how soon can we get this going and started? How long is the training? How long will it take to implement, inputting the software? And because if you can get it for the marshmallow job, that would be perfect. And for every subsequent event coming up. The other question I have is, the coloring wall, is that for all ages, up through seniors, whoever? Can anybody go into the coloring wall? And what was that date again?
So to go back a little bit is the coloring wall, I can't start reserving dates until like March 17th, I think is what the date was. So late March or mid-March is when I can start reserving it. And they're going to start doing rentals, or when they start going to different places, is in June.
Okay.
And it's a 26-foot trailer. It's about $650. And there's a mileage if they go over a certain mileage from Detroit of how much they charge. It's like $25 per mile or something, or every 50 miles along those lines. But it is a 26-foot trailer. It's for ages 4 and up.
Up to 99?
Yep, it's for as old as you want, and it's going to be up to the artist who designs it. It'll be Detroit themed, so it'll be things that are that remind the artist or that are all about Detroit. So I think it's the person that I talked to, the person's company. It's her view on it. It's her art for it. And I'm sorry, you were talking about the software and.
Timing.
I'm guessing that it can be a pretty quick process as far as training and then starting it out. It's going to be, I'm guessing, months to do it. And it also depends on, I don't know as far as if that's something that gets presented, I would assume that, or presume that it goes before council, but I don't know yet. I kind of at the very beginning of the tip, of the tip of the iceberg for it. The city manager is aware that I've been talking to different companies for the software. She's also looking at using a different add-on to some of the software we already have. So I'm guessing it can move pretty quickly once we get the approval. Once we get the approval, the training, and then rolling it out, I'm guessing it could be in a few months. Again, it's just Allie and I for it, so it's not. I'm guessing it'd be something that maybe I could train a few people at City Hall in case they have to sign someone up. But for the most part, it's going to be where people are registering online, registering their family and taking care of it online. And any questions would probably come to me through phone call or email. And
And the software will accept payments too. Is that what?
yeah, it'll accept payments. And so I have to, I don't know too much about what that entails as far as credit card processing and what we have to do as far as the city and far as what the company that we choose or software we choose. But it would be where people can pay online, and it's just like a credit card sale for most of the things you sign up for. That's the ease of it, is they can pay for it in their pajamas at home, and they never have to leave their house or come to City Hall or try to fit in the window between 8 and 4:30 of when we're there. And on top of that, sometimes I'm not at City Hall. I'm either at the Senior Activity Center or doing something else. So it kind of makes it so that it's less hands-on for us and more hands-on for the user.
Okay, next question is, you still are looking for another person to work in the senior center, correct?
So right now, we have Ally from, her shift is 8 to 1, but the building's open from 9 to 1. We're looking to eventually open the building till 4 o'clock, which would either entitle we hire another person, or we would make Ally full-time and she would work the 40 hours like we do here at City Hall. It's not anything that I've discussed any further with the city manager, but obviously we have those two options, is we hire Ally full-time and have her there as the main person while the building is open, or we hire 2 part-time people. But there's benefits of both. Obviously, the simplicity of having one employee there who knows kind of the building, and then if she's out, I can cover it. That's a huge benefit of it. The drawback, obviously, being is the cost of having an employee there and being full-time. So it's something, again, that would have to probably go before either the city manager or further.
Right, and just to kind of expand on that, Ally is hired for the senior center, which
Correct.
means she technically should not be doing anything related to recreation for the,
She's technically the senior activity center clerk.
okay, so everything that has to do with non-seniors is up to you, correct?
Correct.
So it would be interesting if you could hire another person to be able to do the other side of it, plus keep, you could do need to expand the hours for sure. But to expand this whole program, then this whole department, you need assistance.
Correct.
Can't be just you.
So in the ideal world right now, it would be great to have Ally as a full-time employee and also hire a part-time employee that could kind of be a hybrid between the senior activity center and my activities for the rest of the city. That is in a ideal world, and that is something that might be a discussion going forward. Obviously, she's a brand-new hire, has been here a couple weeks, has made a huge impact for us, and I'm confident if we make her full-time, but at the same time, she is brand new. And I don't know what the city would like to do, so that's up to me to put it before the city and have them vote on it and what they like to do.
Yes, especially when you have this month, the somewhat of a preliminary budget workshop coming up. And
Correct.
you should have all that spelled out in there so that the council and the city has everything to review and look at, because the budget process goes pretty quickly.
Yep.
So, all right, that's all I have. Thank you.
So I have a question on the, you said the city manager was looking for an add-on to the program?
So we use BSNA software right now for taxes, water bills, everything that we do cash receipting for. She's heard of an add-on to BSNA software that might do recreations. She's not 100% sure right now, so she's going to look into see if there's software that can handle a recreation side of it. I'm not sure what that entails. I'm not sure how good it is. I'm not sure if it even compares to a entirety
I know
of a
what
recreation
you're talking
software.
about sounds wonderful, and what would, yeah.
So we're
What did
just
you
looking
call-
at
What did you call that? It was what do you use now for the other one?
BSNA software. It's a government software that we use for basically everything, assessing, building, finances. So
All right.
Question though, another question about the coloring wall. Is it like a coloring book, like page, like something on a wall that has like a design on it and you go and
Yes.
color it? Or you just go in and free doodle or?
It's got predetermined images on there, so you just color it to make it whatever color you want. So it'll be better made potato chips or Vernors or something like that. You know, it'll be different images that the kids can come and just color it whatever color they want. And it's just kind of supposed to be a cute little, it goes against what you've been taught your entire life of not coloring on walls and stuff like that.
You're going to teach these kids some good habits.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be a fun event. Obviously, it sounds like they're just starting out and kind of getting the things rolling. So when I did talk to her, it sounds like it could be a real fun event for the city. We just have to be a little bit patient on hiring or, doing it and when we can do it. So,
Is there a name to that company?
yes, I don't have it in front of me right now. I can pull it up if you just give me 1 second.
And you said it's like 25 inside, 25 outside?
20 to 25 inside. I think there's a bench in there, and then 20 to 25 outside as well. So it could be a 40 to 50 person
And
event.
I know you don't have a date, but is it like a 2-hour period? Is it a 1-hour period?
I believe it is a 2-hour period.
Okay.
And I knew that,
Is it air conditioned?
I don't know.
I just thought about that. If you're doing it in the summer, it might be.
I don't know, and I haven't even figured out yet where I would put the 26-foot trailer. Obviously, we'd probably want to put it in the parking lot where there's cement so it doesn't sink. And obviously, I don't know what we would do if it rains. I haven't figured that one out yet. It sounds like we would have still the people inside, but we wouldn't have the people outside, or they can go inside and color the sheets, but is that fair? I haven't figured out all the details yet. I think closer to it, I'll be able to come here before you guys and tell you all the details and kind of give you more of it. It was just a 30-minute phone call that I had and trying to get a little bit more details that we have.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's just going to be a fun event for the city. Trying to pull it up as quickly as I can. I apologize.
All right. Well, do we want to move on? Well, is there any more citizen participation?
I think the company might be called the Coloring Museum, and the trailer is called the Coloring Wall, or the Coloring Truck.
All right. Okay, so no more citizen participation. Any more questions for Chris? Because I think we did that, and then we went back and forth, so, okay. Item number 9, commission member reports. Commissioner Hunter?
Just one question. Whatever happened to the exploration of skating rink at the park? Did that kind of fall by the wayside, or what happened to that?
For 2025, yes, it fell by. If that is something we want to do, I want to make sure that we obviously do it ahead of time. I know Julie presented that a couple months before the winter, and I wasn't able to get it done in time.
Okay.
It's not something I have forgotten about. I think if we would do something like that, we have to make sure that we kind of make sure that all the details are lined up. And I know that previously we've had it, and it was a pretty simple thing, but I don't know, I just kind of feel like times have changed. Maybe I'm off on that, but I just don't want the city liable for anything, or, what the ramifications is if anyone gets hurt, who we would need there, what kind of insurance we would need. I don't know if we have to get that deep into it. So that's where I was at with it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it done fast enough.
All right, not a problem. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Rice?
Only thing, I love the software, but it should not come out of our budget at all. So I don't know where that has to go.
Yeah, and
Who
I
you talk to.
Yeah, that hasn't even been a discussion yet of where that would come out of the budget. So that's why I didn't want to say it's
Yeah.
not going to come out of the programming, but I wouldn't think that would come out of programming. If it came out of our budget, I would think it would be in its own line item that we could do
You
it.
just never know.
Right. So I think that's something that I can present before city council to try to make its own line item to add into our budget.
Okay.
Of having an initial 7,500 for the first year, then every year making sure that we have enough money to pay for the 3,500 plus the 5% up
Okay.
fee every year.
That's it.
Okay. Commissioner Walker?
How are we looking on that vendor show?
So I did get a couple people who reached out to me, I think per you.
Forgetting to the rest of them.
I did give them vendor applications. I haven't heard back from the people who reached out yet.
I saw some of them today. They forgot.
Okay.
They're waiting for me to talk to you today to give them more information.
I'm just asking for a little bit more time on that, just because things have been a little hectic with the new employee, the senior activity center kind of starting the clean slate, the fresh look, and constantly kind of going back and forth right now. I definitely want to do it. It's not something that I'm not going to do this year. You can pretty much count on that we're going to do it. I just have to ask some of the vendors that we had at a previous event, and then we're going to put it out on Facebook like we did for the open house. So it's definitely something I want to do. It's I don't want to say simple, but we have vendors show up and then sell their products. It's not something that would cost the city, a crazy amount of money to have vendors show up at, let's say, Steffens Park and be able to sell their goods. It's just something that will be a nice little touch for the city.
Yep. Also, but these vendors, they already are booking up for the summer. So we have to try to either give them a set, be like, yes, we're going to start this. And you said you want to do it the first Saturday of the month? Was your plan?
What I was saying is we can do it the first Saturday every month. If that's how we want to do it, we can do it the second. It doesn't matter. But I was saying maybe we keep it consistent so that people can say, okay, every first Saturday of every month, the city of Fraser will have a vendor. And then I know we were talking about maybe like switching parks, and ultimately, I thought it was a good idea, but then I thought, well, if we keep it at the same park, same time, and like I said, let's say the first Saturday every month, people get into the habit of, they'll know that there's a vendor show or a vendor market going on that day.
Well, I know half of the vendors that I sent you are already booked up for Saturdays in the summer. So that's why I was saying, what if we do Saturday one month, Sunday another month? That was the only reason, so we could try to get different vendors going. But I do see that it'd be hard, because I would also because we need advertisement, because we never did have it, and we didn't have anybody show up. So if we could have like a banner or a sign that would be out in front of City Hall or on the wedge or something.
So maybe for the first year, maybe we can do Sunday and just switch it. I'm not saying that's like the catch-all, but maybe we just do something different for our first year, just to kind of gather the excitement for it. And then the next year, it's, okay, we're moving to Saturday from here on out, just to try to build a basis if, most of the vendors are taken for Saturday. Yeah, and obviously I'd like to move forward with that a little bit further. I just was trying to start something here and taking a little
These
bit.
people, they move fast, and because they want to make their money, so they book up real fast.
Right. So I can talk to them, and if I'm getting a lot of feedback that they're already booked up for this Saturday, then maybe we can try Sunday and see if their availability. I'll let you guys know where we stand on that at the next one.
How about even like a evening?
Well, that's what I was going to say. What's the average, hours? Is it a 2-hour thing? Is it a 4-hour thing?
A lot of them are more than 2 hours.
They're normally like 3 to 4, I would say,
Okay.
roughly.
Usually they're like 9, some of them are 9 to 1 or 9 to 4. I've done some that were 9 to 4.
All right. Well, because I think I'm going to say maybe what you were going to say, maybe. But what if it was on a weeknight
Well, that's what I
for
was.
a couple
gonna- yeah,
hours,
that's what we were
and at the
talking
same
about, too.
time, then you have the jazz band playing that gazebo, is that gazebo still there? While the thing is going on, so you got the jazz band thing, you got the
But then we'll
vendor
need
thing.
lights. Do we have enough lights that would be right where we would do?
Yeah, the tennis courts have
Is
lights.
that gonna, but remember how we had the farmer's market? Would that be able to shine enough on all the,
But you're figuring summer, though, it's going to be light out.
Wait till, like,
way
9.
later to 8:30, 9 o'clock.
depends on what
maybe in the
time.
middle
Well, I'm
of that.
thinking like the St. Clair Shores one, the one on Masonic and Jefferson. Theirs is pretty late, isn't it? Started
Memorial.
like 7? Yeah, Memorial.
I
Oh,
thought it was at Blossom Heath.
Oh, Blossom Heath.
It's
thank
Blossom
you.
Heath, I was gonna say it's Blossom, I never went to their weeknight one, I've only gone to their
So
Sunday.
some of the vendors I know, they do it, and I feel like they start late there, but they have the lights.
It's just something to throw around, just to like even, like I
Well,
said.
I did ask them, I have a group chat with them, about weeknights, and I don't think any of them wanted to do it, because they all have kids and they have something going on.
So that's why obviously weekends are normally what you aim for. So like I said, we could try Sundays if we want. But let me reach out to the vendors that we already had. I'll reach out to the couple of vendors who reached out, and then let me see their availability, see if when they're available, and try to get some feedback on that, and then we can move forward there and obviously post it on our website and Facebook and try to get the word out there and see what most people can do.
Sounds good.
I know most markets are in the morning, so
Some are at night. We did the farmer's market one time at night.
like a 4 to 8? Wasn't the very
I think
last
it
one like a
was.
4 to 8?
Yeah, it was like the
Was.
last one of the
That was a
Of the
couple.
year.
so
I agree with Rebecca that these things have to start moving fast
Yeah.
because we won't have people then. Like vendors. Vendors they book up fast.
Anything else?
Oh, I did talk to one of the people that worked the day camp
hmm
here in Fraser in the past. Do you want me to
yes,
all
please.
that information for you?
Yes, please. If you have information about that, because I still want to try to get that going.
Yeah, well, I can give you a little bit. They did it, it was like a 3-hour day camp, and the parents dropped them off wherever. So like if they did like a trip somewhere else, it would be like they went to Somerset, the parents would drop off there at the park area, and then they would go swimming, go back to the park, have pizza, and then the parents would pick them up from there. So that we really wouldn't need any buses, because I know we were talking about that before.
Yeah, obviously, the main drawback that we have here for the city, as far as doing like a camp for kids, is where do we put the kids if the weather doesn't cooperate? Obviously, that's a big
My
drawback.
question too to her, they would have the parents, they would have to come pick them up. They had nowhere else to put them, so they
Right.
would have them pick them up.
We'd have to have it so that it was canceled for that day. We'd have to either do some type of refund for the day or make it so that they have to pay for it regardless. Obviously, we have the pavilions, but if they're rented, but most of the time during the week they're not rented, maybe they can go under the pavilion if it's not too many kids. We have a 50-person pavilion that they could go under, and maybe we can find something for them to do on that. But obviously, the drawback is, what if the weather isn't nice? So, or if it just rained, obviously you're going to have a muddy park. So it's kind of the limitation we have right now.
It would be great to see a summer camp, but the other drawback is you need more than one employee.
Yeah.
Right. We would need multiple employees. And like you said, it would be something that I was thinking it would be 9 to 1 or 9 to 12, and then 1 to 4, 1 to 5, however we want to do it. And then there'd be an hour gap between it so that the people who would be working would get a lunch break.
You're going to have to look into if it's going to be more than 2 or 3 hours, because I think that is illegal, well, because it's not unless you're certified for a daycare, because you're watching these kids, you're going to have to either get licensed for longer hours of having each kid, or you're going to have to cut the hours short for now.
Right.
What about using this room over here as a catch-all if it rains or something like that, and have indoor activities planned or something?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. So we could try to use that room, and if it rains, and try to have something in there, or try to do some type of fun activity if that's okay, or if that's allowed. If we're allowed to use that room, we can do it.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Cook.
I just have questions. How are we looking on the Easter bunny drop, the marshmallow drop? Are we thinking about doing something for adults or around Easter?
Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that. Obviously, the marshmallow drop will be April 12th. I think I might have said that in the last one. It'll be April 12th. I'll come up with the times. I believe we're going to be, I think we're going to do either a half an hour in between it or 45 minutes in between each drop, like we did the first year. Obviously, we changed times, changed days completely because of the snow. This year will be in April, so hopefully we won't have that same issue again. And again, like it was previously discussed, it'd be great to have the software by then. Even if we could roll it out softly and just have it for that as our first sign up, it'd be great to have. It would eliminate a lot of our issues that we have for our events. And then with that, it will be a discussion of pricing for that and what we want to do and pricing for non-residents, but that all will roll out if we can get the software going.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I was going to say, I have nothing else, but I really want to see a kite event.
Yeah,
So again, I think you could please 400 people for $500, open, up over in this field. I think it would be really easy.
and I did look into it. I did find a club for us to call. And off the top of my head, I can't remember if they ever contacted me back. I'm pretty sure that I emailed and reached out to this club that does it in Michigan, and one of our employees, they did it in their city. Unfortunately, they didn't get a lot of people for it, but that doesn't mean we won't get a lot of people here. I don't have it right in front of me of where I left off on that, but there was one organization who does it that I tried to reach out to, I believe, and they didn't contact
All right, so let's just do this. If I was to put together my own little event, do I have to pull a permit to have people gather in the park?
No.
I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do that for this year. I'm not going to have any fancy flyers. I'm just going to put an event on Facebook that says, for $1.25, come get a kite, and because I am not fronting kites for everybody. But I think I'm just going to do that for this year. But
Okay.
Meet up.
Yeah.
How much are the
Bring
kites?
your own kite, meet me up
bring it.
here.
Okay.
How much are the kites?
They're $1.25 at the Dollar Tree.
They're actually pretty good kites.
They're very good. So, anyways,
How many will we need?
well, I don't know. I was thinking if we were going to do a citywide thing, if you get 400, which is more than enough, then you don't have to build them all. You build them as you need them. So then you just put them in a box and store them for the next year.
Okay,
But I would hate to get like 100, and what if you have 102 kids show up?
we get 200.
Right. So anyway, it's just a thought. I just think I myself, I fly a kite. I run up and down the street with it.
I was gonna say, you don't need to have a company come out and show you how to fly a kite and all that stuff. I've done it before at a friend's school, and we just showed up, we built a kite, we flew it, we had fun, and we went
I'm
home.
going to do a little meetup.
Well, let me know when you guys want to run it, and then if you guys want to head it and kind of, and I can do whatever you guys need to help. I can put the word out there. Let me know.
So we just put the word out and say, bring your kite.
Yeah, bring your own kite. People are
Okay.
gonna wanna go out and
Yeah.
buy the nice fancy kite, you
Oh,
know?
okay. Oh, I still.
I'll donate like.
All right, okay,
So again,
okay, all right.
just let me
all
know
right.
when you guys are thinking
Okay.
about doing it, and then we can make a flyer for it and make it an
Alright.
event. And then on you two will be my instructors.
And then what? And then
You guys will be
problem.
the instructors and the people that everyone needs to go to.
All right, okay, so that's all I have.
6 people. Well, my
There you go.
family will be there.
Okay. So that's all I have. All right, so item number, any other discussion? Okay, item number 10, we need an adjournment we need someone to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8 o'clock.
Second,
Who seconded it?
me.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn at 8 o'clock by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rice. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.